Welcome back, folks. Today I've got a new product to review, and this is kind of a unique one. I've seen these when I originally first saw them. I didn't really know if it was a serious tool or not, but I got one of these mini hand saws. This is a 6-inch little portable hand saw to do pruning with, and this one's made by a company called Vanpore, and they sell them on Amazon for about $95. We're gonna open this up, see what comes in here, and then we're gonna give it a shot and see how well this thing actually performs. Let's go ahead and let's get to it. All right, let's go ahead and open this up. This comes with a nice little case. Looks like we've got some instructions that come with it. We'll look at those later. Looks like they give you some gardening style gloves. I don't think that these are gonna protect you much against like a chainsaw blade. I don't think they're like cut resistant, but nice to have. Looks like you're gonna get 2 batteries. Now these are really interesting because they are 21 volt. I haven't seen a 21 volt battery before. Not sure if that's something that other brands are doing or what the deal is, but it's a 2 amp hour battery, and they are lithium ion. So it's nice that you get 2 of them. So if you run out while you're in the middle of trimming a tree, you can just pop this one on and then put the other one on the charger. And speaking of charger, you can charge both at the exact same time. And it's kind of interesting because the batteries have a little charging port right here instead of a base that they slide in. You just plug these little cables in just like that. So a little bit different battery charging design than what I've seen on some other products that I've got, but kind of cool that you can charge both at the same time. And the charger that comes with this looks like it's a 2 amp charger. So these things being only 2 amp hours, you should be able to charge this thing pretty quick. And then it also looks like you get some safety glasses, which are nice. I actually needed to get a new set of these, so it's kind of cool that it came with these. You get some earplugs, which is really interesting because this is electric. It shouldn't be very loud at all, so we're just gonna have to see, but they did include a ton of safety stuff, which is really nice to see. Oh, look at this. You do get an extra chain, but man, look how small these teeth are on here. I don't have a file that will work for this particular size chain. I'll have to see what size chain this is, but if I'm going to use this frequently, I'm going to have to buy a file specifically for that chain size. And here is the Vanpore unit itself. It looks really nice. It's basically plastic, which is to be expected, and also to keep it fairly light. The batteries will plug in down here. Let's go ahead and just plug one in. They click in, seem pretty sturdy. Now looking at the saw, you do get a nice little plastic guard here, and then a little guard right up here, so you don't have to worry about your hands slipping in from the top. Along with this bottom guard, it's pretty well designed to be pretty safe. I'm really pleased with all the safety stuff that I'm seeing on here. So here's the actual blade of the saw. This is a brushless motor, which is really nice to see, so that should help with battery longevity. I do like how this is tapered just a little bit. I think that's going to be a little bit more efficient for running this saw. And it's super tiny, 6 inches. So this will be really nice to carry around on my backyard trail and trim branches that need to be trimmed up without having to take out a full-size saw. It's so lightweight, and I can do majority of my work with a 6-inch blade. That's pretty much the max size that I probably am using even with my full-size saw. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this performs. Now what's really nice is that this looks to be a toolless design, so you don't need to take a tool out with you. You can simply retighten the actual chainsaw chain by turning this and then pulling this out and then locking it back into place. There's no tools needed whenever you're out on your property doing some trimming, which is really cool. I love tools that are toolless, because if you have to carry a tool with you to use the tool that you're trying to use, it can be kind of cumbersome and kind of annoying. So I like to see that. And then up here, this is where you're going to put your chain oil. You don't want to run a chainsaw without chain oil in it. It'll just burn up the bar big time. So you got a nice little spot right there to fill it up with chain oil. All right, now that we know a little bit more about this, let's go ahead and put the battery on, make a few cuts, and see if this thing is actually worth the $95 that Vanpore is asking for it. Let's go ahead and try to add some oil to this. Small reservoir tank, so I don't think it's going to take hardly any oil. Oh yeah, that is a tiny reservoir. I think that'll be good. I don't like to fill the saw up too much if I'm going to be using it for a short amount of time, because saws typically oil just leaks right out of them and it's a mess. I couldn't imagine putting it back in this case with oil in there. I'm going to empty this every time I go to use this saw. All right, so I've got a dead limb right here that I've been wanting to cut off anyways, so we're gonna give it a shot and see how this does. First, let's quickly just try to turn this on and see if this thing actually is running. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, now I can see why they give you earplugs for this, because this thing is actually surprisingly loud. I don't know if other battery-powered chainsaws are this loud, but there is a ton of sound coming out of the back of where the motor actually is. So let's go ahead and let's try to cut down this limb. I'll just do it right up here first. Oh wow, this thing ripped right through it. Holy cow, that thing actually really sawed through that fast. Let's do that again. And look at this thing pivots out of the way, which is really nice. And one other thing I didn't notice when filling up the oil, there is an oil gauge in here. That's super nice. You can kind of put that level and see that you've got enough oil in there. Let's go ahead and let's just cut this branch again. This thing is actually really cool. I am super impressed. Wow, this thing's awesome. The only question is what's the longevity of this Vanpore brushless mini saw? Will this thing last for quite a while? Because it's ripping through wood right now. Now I know that this is a tree that is kind of dying, but I'm not going to really be cutting anything much bigger than what I just cut. And more than likely it's going to be branches that are probably dying already. But yeah, so far super impressed. Let's cut a few more things. And it just goes right through that. Very impressive. And there you go, that's the Vanpore mini chainsaw. This thing is actually really cool. 6-inch blade on this, which is really nice. And everything is toolless on this, which is fantastic. A very small oil reservoir, so you don't have to worry about it holding a ton of oil and getting everywhere. So it'll be real easy to empty whenever you're done using this. You get 2 batteries that are 21 volt and 2 amp hours, so this should last you quite a while. As you guys saw, I cut down a few branches and I've used it here and there since then, and honestly, it's still running really, really well. I like the fact that you can charge both batteries at the same time, and at a $95 price point, I think this is a pretty good deal. Most of the name brands, whenever you get into this style of saw, are gonna run you over $300 to $400. So something that I'm not going to use all that often, but whenever I want to go around my trail system or in my backyard and trim up some of the branches real quick, this thing is super lightweight, easy to carry, and easy to handle. I don't have to worry about getting injured with this because of all the safety guards on it. And I'm actually really impressed. I can't believe that you can pick something up like this for 95 bucks. I would recommend this for sure. I love the fact that you get a case with it and 2 chains also. This thing's got a lot going for it. If you guys want to pick one of these up, I'm going to put some links below. That way you guys can pick one up, and if you use those links, I would greatly appreciate it. It does come back and help out this small channel, and as a small channel, I really do appreciate it. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next one.